Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T here with the world-famous coach, of course, Freddie Roach. Freddie, I didn't get to see you when we were in New York, but congratulations to you on the victory with Georges St-Pierre. How did it feel for you winning inside Madison Square Garden at an MMA event as opposed to boxing?
Well, it was a little bit different. You know, the thing is, it was a very good show. I mean, they put a strong undercard on the show, and all the fights were really fun to watch. It was somewhat a new experience for me to watch. You know, especially like one of the better fights of the night was the two girls.
Yes,
they fought. I mean, there's a big upset there, but then someone told me it really was an upset because one's just kickboxer, one's more in jiu-jitsu, and the jiu-jitsu girl was better prepared for the fight.
But she knocked her out.
Yes. But yeah, the thing is, it was a lot of fun, and it's just, you know, the thing is, I've been teaching George now for 6 years how to use his hands better, and he finally came with a great left hook and looked really good, and I was really happy about his performance. Yes.
Well, that was my next question to you: is, you know, how do you think George performed rather, considering all the preparation you have had? Was that the fight you expected him to deliver that night?
Yes. You know, the thing is, I knew everyone thought that Bisping was a better boxer than George, and I knew that wasn't true, and because I've been training for 6 years now, and he's gotten better and better all the time, and I knew he would outbox him, and that's what he did first, and then he caught him the left hook, and that was enough to hurt him bad enough to get him to his back. Once George gets you to the back, it takes 23 seconds to choke you out.
Yes, well, he's quite good. Do you think he will defend at 85, though, or go back down to 170? As a coach, how do you think he performed? You know, he's used to being a lot lighter, so did that have an effect on him?
Yeah, I talked to Dana, and Dana said we have to defend that title at least once. So, I mean, right now that's what's on board. And, you know, in UFC, there's not much competition, so you have to do what they say, pretty much. And but George, I told him, I says, he's on vacation right now. I says, enjoy yourself, relax. I said, we'll talk about who's next when you get back.
I do have to ask your opinion on the McGregor Mayweather fight. You know, some people were fearful. Oscar had said it was going to ruin boxing. After the fact now, what's your take on how that fight played out and what it actually did do for both sports?
Well, I had Miguel Cotto fighting that night, so I didn't get to see the fight. And the thing is, I know that the two sports don't match that really well, because whoever's rules you go by is usually going to dictate the winner, unless someone gets lucky with a one-punch knockout. But you know, that usually doesn't happen. But the thing is, you know, again, the sports, they don't mix well, I don't think. Because again, whoever's rules you go by is going to dictate who's going to win the fight. And Mayweather had a huge advantage. I mean, if wrestling was involved, the other guy would have had a huge advantage also. So the thing is, I wasn't really excited about watching that fight. And he did better than I thought he would, and he lasted longer than I thought he would. Yes, because I know Mayweather's a very talented boxer, and you know.
The theory is that Mayweather toyed with him. Some people are saying Mayweather let him win rounds.
Maybe. But I mean, Mayweather is cocky enough to do that. And but the thing is, you know, when he hurt him in that combination, I wish the referee didn't stop it so soon. I wish he would have let him knock him out, because he was going to knock him out. And I just wish that he let that happen, because that's what the world. You know, you're in a world title fight. I mean, let's face it. Like, you know, give them a chance to perform.
And I think Conor wanted that as well.
Of course. I mean, anyone. That's all we all ask for. But you know, sometimes the referee's in a better position than we are, though, because sometimes we take too many shots. Sometimes it's necessary to stop a fight. But you know, it was probably a good stoppage. But the thing is, in a world title fight, I would rather see, you know, let the guy at least get knocked down or knocked out. And for me, so I mean, I did see the highlights of the fight, but I didn't watch the whole fight, though, because it was way too boring for me.
Okay, just a couple more questions for you. When you look at MMA fighters, I know a lot of them come through here. A lot of them want to work with you. Do you feel that the skill set is good enough right now, the boxing that is for MMA, or if so, what would you change about it?
Well, the thing is it's very difficult, though, because like usually they start with different sports and so forth coming up, but like Aaron Pico, who I trained, and Aaron was a boxer first, and then he became a wrestler, and he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's rated top 5, and now he's in MMA, and he does very well and stuff like this. And the reason why he does very well, though, is because he has great hands. He has, the thing is, boxing, to learn boxing later is more difficult but when you grow up with it like he did in the Junior Olympics when he was a young boy, it comes natural, because you have you miss that fear factor, and you're not scared of anybody, so especially when you're young. I mean, I started when my first time I had gloves on, I was 4, first fight was 6, and then I won the Junior Olympics at 8, and so I've been fighting all my life. So the thing is, like, by the time I got to the pros, nothing really scared me in there and so forth, but I wasn't afraid. But the thing is, I wish I had boxed a little bit more, because I could probably box better than I showed, because sometimes I like to fight too much. But that's how it goes.
Nice. And lastly, I do obviously want to ask you about Miguel Cotto. What does it mean for you, the relationship that you guys have had, and with this being his last fight? What when you look back on your relationship and your career together, what do you see?
We've had a great time together, and it's a little bit too short, though, because I wish I had got him earlier, of course. But the thing is, we had to go through the Pacquiao when they fought each other first, and then when he called me up, that was like one of the best calls I ever got in my life. He said, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to help you." He says, "Really, you?" Yeah. So it worked out well. He said, "I have about 3 fights left. I mean, we're at 6 now, so that was good." And the thing is, I like that he's making the decision to retire. Not some doctor, not some commission, he's not washed up. He saved his money. He doesn't have to come back, and I really like that. I mean, I like going out on top, and that's what we intend on doing. That's why we're training so hard for this fight, because we know we're in a must-win situation, because no one wants to go out a loser.
On that note, Fred, thank you so much. Always great to see you, Freddie. You are just the best in the game, so thanks so much.
Thank you very much.